Hello everyone, welcome. This is Plan with Eva from Instagram, and this week I'm going to be planning the week of the 26th to the 1st of August, and I'm going to be using this beautiful kit from ThePrettyPinkCo. And this one is a Bridgerton inspired kit. Bridgerton was a Netflix show that was all the rave for a while, and I watched it all in one day when it was out. And I did enjoy it, but I don't think I liked it as much as other people did. But I did love this kit. I loved how unique it was, but there was one full box that was a little too dark, and it was just a bed one, and I ended up not using that in the spread, and I really loved how this spread turned out. I didn't realize I was going to be using so many weeks of blues, but here we are. This is the bottom washi that came with the kit, and I used both of them. I just trimmed this down a little bit just because there wasn't that much space on the bottom. This was the week that we got married at City Hall, and I didn't have a particular kit to use, so I just chose a kit that I thought was pretty. And since this Bridgerton kit, I didn't know when else I would be able to use it, I thought it would be fitting since there's some paper elements to it, there's some loving elements to it, and it was all just really delicate. I ended up loving how this spread turned out. I was having the hardest time pulling stickers for this spread because the colors were just hard to match, and I'm running out of a lot of blue, just because next week is also another week of blue, so I think that's like 4 weeks in a row when I was looking for blue functional items, just to pull in that's other than the ones that are in the kit. So it was just getting harder and harder week by week to find more blue functional items like labels and stuff that were not in the kits because I was kind of running out of them in my own personal stash. But this kit is ThePrettyPinkCo, and I really loved the way she did this kit. A lot of other people were coming out with Bridgerton inspired kits, but this one was my favorite. I love the bottom washi, and just the full boxes in itself were just very subtle and not too out there, and the colors were beautiful. And these were interesting. The sizing's interesting because now that people are coming out with their own planners, and I think lots of sticker planner shops, they like use their measurements that they had from the old planner everyone's using. So some of the stickers, like the headers specifically for this kit, they were a little bit shorter than the actual lines that you see here. So if you can see here, there's still some lines showing through. I don't mind it too much because the lines are pretty subtle for the planner that I use, and I always link my planner and the kit that I use in the description down below, so if you guys are curious, go ahead and check that out. In my next haul, you guys will see that I'm going to be sharing the planner I'm going to be using for the next year, and it's going to be the same one, but there are some things that she changed in it, so I'll be talking a little bit more about that in the next video. This kit did come with some headers for the boxes, but for me, since I like to do the 3 columns, 3 rows I wanted to do an extra one, so I pulled this white dotted one from the stash that I have at home. I think it's from Harriet Wright Design if I'm remembering correctly, but you'll see that I'm kind of doing one color at the top, the white in the middle, and then a lighter blue at the bottom. I think I'm going to go ahead and let the rest of the sidebar play out, and I'll see you guys in a little bit to talk about my daily plans. So starting with Monday, I didn't do much this day, but since I was getting married at City Hall, I treated myself to a nail appointment. So I had an appointment in the morning and I just got some nail extensions for the first time, and I didn't realize how long they were until I got home, and they're like 3 times or 4 times the length that I usually use for my normal nails. So it was impossible for me to do anything. And this day at the end of the night, I was trying to take my contacts off, and if you know contacts, you kind of need your fingers, like the skin part, to touch the contacts for it to come off easily. Not really your nail, but since my nails were so long, I don't want to gore you with the details, but it was basically really difficult for me to take my contacts off. And after this day, I tolerated it for I think 2 more days, because the next couple days I just took I didn't wear any contacts at all. I just wore my glasses so I wouldn't have to deal with it again, and it was so difficult to do anything with my fingernails for how long they were. Really don't know how girls with long fingernails do anything. I couldn't even type on my phone like normally, so it was taking me forever just to type a normal sentence, and using my keyboard was a struggle, and it was just really difficult to do a lot of different things. But that I ended up trimming them myself a couple days later just so I can use my contacts again. And funnily enough, on this Tuesday and Wednesday, I went to do LASIK consultations. The first one was pretty useless. I did a virtual consultation because I thought that it would be enough, since I had done the LASIK exam a couple years ago. But they do expire, so I ended up going on Wednesday again to a physical place to do the actual LASIK exam to see if I qualified. As you can see on the top here, it was my husband's birthday in the morning, or not the morning, it was his birthday, so we celebrated at night with a lot of different things that he wanted to eat. I was just asking him what he was craving, and he was craving all these different types of places, and since his birthday only comes around once a year and he was turning the big 3-0, I figured we would just get a little bit of everything that he wanted, and he would just have a treat day for himself. Inside the day extender, I was just writing that I did a lot of researching this day. I did a lot of researching on photo booths specifically because I thought that that would be easy, but turns out there's a lot of places that does photo booths, and all of them come with different packages, and that's like the hard part about wedding planning. So I give props to wedding planners because it's just, there's so many different resources and so many different things you have to look at for each resource that you have. So I was just doing a lot of that emailing and contacting and just figuring things out for my wedding, but I'm still kind of clueless as to what I'm trying to do. At the end of the night, we also watched a movie called How to Be Single, and Rebel Wilson is in it, and I love her, but for some reason I just couldn't get into the movie. And it also has the girl that's from 50 Shades of Grey, who I don't particularly like her acting. So she was in the movie and I didn't really like that. But Rebel Wilson, me and my husband were talking about how she's kind of stuck in this role where she's kind of playing the same character in every single movie that she does, which is kind of like this kooky, silly girl, basically. And I just thought that it was just interesting to see her like that, and I would be intrigued to see her in some other different role, even though she is kind of mainly a comedian. Wednesday was an exciting day because I got to tour my first venue for our wedding, and this place was called the Royal Sonesta, I believe. It's in the middle of downtown in Chicago, and whenever I thought about my wedding, I always thought that I wanted the downtown kind of scenery, so I've been kind of looking in that general area for different venues just to see how crazy the prices were. And I wanted to go to the Sonesta first because I thought that they would be kind of the larger on the inside range of what I wouldn't want, kind of like too expensive, but the prices actually weren't that crazy, and kind of in the range of what I was trying to keep our wedding at and still be able to afford other things. And the venue came with a lot of different things to it, so it helped a lot, especially when you're doing planning. Like I said, I also went to a LASIK exam this day, and I was just emailing other venues at the end of the night to do more tours. Inside the day extender, I just wrote that it was a super hot day. I was just walking all around downtown, and I made the mistake of wearing long leggings, and it was just so hot for me. I went to a couple different shops because I was still trying to look for some wedges, but I couldn't find any. And at the bottom of my day extender, I was just writing that it was my first day of taking melatonin. I just got some gummies from Target, and they're strawberry flavored, very tasty. They just taste like a good, like a juicy, like a fruit jelly, whatever those things are called. So I just took one at night to see if it would help me get to sleep. My sleep paralysis was making me really scared to go to sleep, and I was just worried that it was going to keep happening. I was telling my sister about it and how nervous I was to sleep, and she was telling me to try melatonin, so I figured I would try it. And the label recommends taking 2, but my husband is a pharmacist and he told me to just try taking 1. So that's what I've been doing, and I don't know how much it's helping. It might just be a mentality over anything else kind of thing, but it's been helping me stay asleep. I think that was the bigger issue too, is that I'm scared I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night to have sleep paralysis, and I just want to be in a deep slumber in my head for me to be able to sleep for the whole night. Moving on to Thursday, I was able to look at another venue, and this venue was kind of a more empty space. It was closer to home, but it was further from a lot of the things that I wanted to have. I wanted a place that I picked to have a lot of items, so I wouldn't have to go looking through a lot of things, but they were kind of just selling or renting the venue to you. At the end of the day, I also got to see my friend. Festival del Sol is something that happens in Chicago in the Pilsen area, and basically a lot of different restaurants, they come and they have their tacos, they have different kinds of food, Mexican food, Puerto Rican food, and churros and desserts and drinks too. And I just haven't seen my friend in a long time, and she's the one that asked me to be her bridesmaid last week, if you guys watched my video. So it was just nice to hang out with her and just eat some good food. And at the end of the night, I was just able to do some laundry. Friday was when we got married at City Hall, and it was just a super chill thing, and I was super excited because obviously we were getting married on paper, and even though our wedding still seems so far away, it was just really exciting for us to kind of confirm our matrimony in a government kind of way, I guess. But I bought myself a little veil from Amazon. Last time we went to get our marriage license, I was seeing some people wear little veils and nice gowns for going to do their marriage ceremony, and I didn't want to go too crazy, but I did get a simple white dress off of Amazon and a veil that was kind of short just to celebrate the occasion, and they're pretty cheap. They're just like $8 on Amazon, so I figured I can pass it on to others if they wanted to use it too. But I just decorate it in this pretty way. It takes me a little bit, but I end up liking how it turns out. And afterwards we were able to get some dim sum, which I haven't gotten in a while, and it was just the 2 of our families, which was really fun. We don't get to see each other often, our 2 sides of the family. I see his family a lot more than my family, actually, because my mom works very often. And if you guys see my planners, I usually go to his house, his parents' house, for at least like once a week. My mom, I don't see that often, so it was really nice to just see her face. Afterwards, I went over to my mom's house to play some mahjong with my family, and my sisters stayed as well. And that was really nice because I was able to just have some fun with them. And mahjong, if you don't know, I think I've said this enough times, so if you guys have been following me for a while, you guys will know, but it's basically this kind of card tile game. I think it's from China, I'm not positive, but our family loves to play it. My grandma, who's over 80 years old, she kind of uses it as a way to stimulate her brain and a way to pass time and spend time with our family. So she loves to play with it. So we always try to go over whenever we can to spend time with her and play with her. And the other thing I just wrote is that I finished a K-drama, It's Okay, That's Love, which I started on the Tuesday of this week, and I went through this K-drama pretty quick because I'm like watching it and I was like, I'm pretty sure I've watched this before, and I love the actor in it, so I was like, this seems really familiar, and I kept guessing the things that were going to happen before they happened because I just had this memory of it happening. So I think I watched it a long time ago when I was really into K-drama. I used to be subscribed to Viki, I think it's called, which is a subscription, kind of like Netflix, but it's all K-dramas and Chinese dramas and different types of Asian dramas. And I'm pretty sure I watched it when I had that, but I completely forgot about it, but I still loved it nonetheless. And I just went through the series really quick because I couldn't remember exactly everything that happened. And it has the actress that's in When the Camellia Blooms, which I loved too, so it was just really nice to watch that. Saturday, my husband was at home, so I just made some pancakes for him. I made some of those kind of Japanese souffle kind of pancakes, the fluffy ones, and then they were kind of a fail, so then he ended up making some chocolate chip pancakes from some batter we had at home. My cousins came over and they gave me some goodies just to celebrate our marriage ceremony because they weren't able to be there, which was really sweet of them. And that day we were just watching Atypical, and the Chinatown Fair was also not happening this weekend. There was a lot of things happening this weekend. This was also the weekend of Lollapalooza. So we went to Chinatown Fair for a little bit just to check it out because my cousins were saying they were going to go. And afterwards, since we were in the neighborhood, we went to a Chinese market that's by there. For dinner, we ended up getting Chipotle, and this was the day that I started watching the K-drama That Winter the Wind Blows, which has the same guy that's also in It's Okay, It's Love. And I just love seeing various actors in different kinds of roles. So it was interesting to see him because he starts off as a con man that's trying to con this blind girl. And I feel like I'm pretty sure I've watched this one before too, so I kind of went through that one really quick too. This is what happens when you have a horrible memory like me and you don't like document it. I've started doing a document sheet of all the different K-dramas I watched just so I wouldn't repeat them. And I leave like the ratings I have for them too. But me and my husband also started watching the season 10 of Walking Dead because it came out on Netflix, and I heard that season 11 is going to be their last one. So since it finally came out on Netflix, we started watching that one. On Sunday, it was the first day of August, so I decorated it in a little pretty way. And this day I was able to tan by the pool for an hour while my husband went to go work out. Afterwards, I was just in the mood to go play tennis, and we haven't played in a while. So him and we ended up going to play tennis for an hour, which was really nice. He actually ended up getting sunburnt because we went to Festival del Sol again with our friends, and since he didn't put on any sunscreen or anything like that, he just ended up getting burnt because the sun was still out. This day I also started watching another K-drama that's called Moon Lover's Scarlet Heart, and it has a K-pop idol IU in it. I haven't continued it yet because I was just kind of not really getting into it, so I'm gonna wait a little bit and I'll see when I have time to kind of get back into it because it's also not something that's easily accessible either. I definitely prefer watching K-dramas that are on Netflix just because I can kind of watch it on my phone and watch it wherever I go. But for this one, I kind of have to go to a website that's on the computer and I can't watch it from my phone. So that's all the plans that I have for this week. I hope you guys enjoy, and thank you so much for watching. You guys will be able to see some close-up shots. If you have any questions about any stickers, like I said, just leave it down in the comments below and I'll try to find the shop for you. I kind of use the same shops over and over again, but lots of shops have closed since then, so some of them are like really old stickers, but I'll try my best to get back to you guys. Check out my Instagram, Plan with Eva, if you guys are ever curious about seeing some of these close-up shots. There's going to be some close-up shots at the end as well. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!